I'll give you a close-up of the goods. That's what you guys are here for. Hey guys, I'm back with another repot video. You guys like these. I think it's the ASMR of it all. But we're going to be, see if the microphone doesn't flip around on me. I'm going to be repotting this other Dracaena I have. I've had it for about 5 months. I got her as a rescue at the local nursery. She had a really bad mealybug infestation, so I treated her for a while. And she's been doing well. She's a little dry and damaged because obviously mealies did a damage number on her. And she has been getting a little too much direct sun. So she's finally gotten to a point where she is pushing out new growth. You guys can see that right there. That little nub here is a new babe. Right there. So I'm going to go ahead, repot her. I'm going to divide her into two. I've noticed that a lot of nurseries like to put Dracaena in maybe clumps of 3 or 4 stems and then put them together, and then they grow as one big plant, but they're actually individual plants. That's one of the things about these is they'll grow independently, and then when you prune them, they'll grow multiple shoots, like you'll see here with these. This one has 4, which is awesome. It's really rare to see 4 shoots like that, but it makes for a much more bushier plant. But bushier plants also give a risk of having a lot more pests like mealybugs that love dry weather, and these plants prefer dry climates. So I've got my repot mat here on this table. I'm going to be using these dark containers. I had a bunch of these self-watering planters, which aren't really self-watering, but the way these work, if you guys don't know, is they have like this little lip here so that when you put water in here, it fills up, and then at the base, you see where this symbol is, the water pools up there, and you'll hope that your medium is spongy enough that it soaks up moisture up. And it's really useful if you're using peat moss type or like cocoa type mediums, if that's what you like to use. But if you use regular potting soil, it's more difficult if you make it very chunky. So it's more useful as drainage. I mean, just about the excess, but I found it useful if you like to bottom water. Just make sure that your medium is a lot more moisture retentive. Like I said, there's peat, and then there's cocoa coir, which is just ground up coconut husks that acts very spongy. So the mix I use is a mix of cocoa, pumice, and bark. And what I've been doing is I've been throwing in a little bit of 10-10-10 fertilizer, like a sprinkle of it, and kind of folding that in instead of using my liquid fertilizer for my outdoor plants. That way there is something in the medium, because again, cocoa does not retain any nutrients. You need to add it artificially, so an artificial fertilizer is what helps. So I'm going to go ahead and take these apart, and we're going to see what we're working with here. I gave her a quick soak yesterday just to kind of loosen the soil to make it easier to pull her apart. So let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, slide out really easily. Doesn't look like she's pretty root bound there, but I think it's better just to repot her. You guys can see. I'll give you a close-up of the goods. That's what you guys are here for. Let's see, that's better. How's that? Awesome. All right, so I'm just going to take her apart. So you already see that there's multiple plants in here. So what you want to do is just brace it. See? Just came apart. This is one plant, a great root system. So let's just work on them one by one. Take this pot out of the way. Kind of loosen this up here. So again, with Dracaenas, they're prefer drier climates. So definitely they are better for more deserty, dry climates because they do store water in their trunks. So they're very useful if you live in a drier climate. They also fare well in more humid conditions, but as always, make your soil chunkier so that your soil won't stay wet too long that it causes root rot. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get crazy and obsessed with cleaning it because I'm just moving it from one medium to another. If I was moving it to, like, for example, lechuza pond or like other type of substrate like that that has a hard time with actual soil, then I would do that. But I personally never work with those, but that's one reason why I don't fully get super crazy with cleaning the roots extensively. Let's see how this one's doing. Yeah, see, when they're separating like this, the soil itself is very, very well draining. There is so much perlite in here, but I don't have a use for repurposing the soil because it's been outdoors. And I'm not going to risk there being any type of bug eggs or anything like that sort. So if I wanted to repurpose the soil, but these will stay outside. They're going to be in shaded spots, a lot of bright indirect, but not direct sunlight. So they'll do well. And these are slow growers, so you have to be patient with them. Got a little bit of root rot right there. You can see it. The root's a little split. So I'm glad I'm switching her off to my cocoa. It will be a lot more airy. This is straight up peat and perlite, which has become very popular now. But peat isn't sustainable if you overuse it, so that's why I like using the cocoa. All right, so that's two of them. What do we got with these two here? Thick root here. And again, what I'm going to do is once I put them in their final pots, after that I get a good watering, I'm going to water them with my just regular tap that has the prop drops so that we can help encourage more root growth for these babes. Because one of the things with Dracaena, if you have these type, is they are top heavy. So if you don't give them enough support, they will topple over with the wind. That's why they grow well indoors instead of outdoors, because the wind will knock the pot over. And if you bury them too deeply, over time, this can get rotted. That's why when you decide to cut and propagate, I would say do water propagation, and once you start getting good enough roots, take it out. I tried propagating these in moss for a while and it didn't work. It just rotted the stem because it was staying moist too long. And that's strange, I know, because it's water's not the same as moss. But that's what I was experiencing and it was quite frustrating. So if you guys enjoy this ASMR-ish, let me know if you guys like me doing this. I don't mind doing this type of videos. It's always hard when you're a creator trying to figure out what to share with you guys. And I do like, well, look at that, making these. So, all right. And these 6-inch pots that I'm moving into will be much better because they're smaller. So they'll hold the pot, the canes better, as I call them. All right, let me clear this off and then I'll come back. Let me do a little quick video for you guys. You can see I actually cleaned this up. Some of you guys like seeing the satisfaction of things being cleaned, so I'll leave this in for a bit. All right. Ooh, there is an earwig in there. One thing about earwigs is they are not dangerous to you. Those pincers are more of a vestigial organ that's supposed to fight off their other males. It's not to like bite you or anything. It's more of a competition thing. So who's got the biggest, you know what, wins, right? So, all right, so this is pretty good here. Let me kind of pull this back a bit. If you guys like my tripod, I'll link it below. I'll always have links below for things I use here. And like for disclosure, the things that I link below are things that I like and I've used. So it's not just like, I'm going to put this up there for you guys to get it. It's like things I legitimately have and used. Okay, here is my soil. It's left over from my repots of the other large Dracaenas. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Hopefully I can finish this off today because I do want to put my container back into storage. All right, let's see what I'm working with. Show you guys the soil here. See, cocoa, pumice is the perlite looking substance, and then bark. And the tiny, tiny flecks are the 10-10-10 fertilizer that I've thrown in there. Let's see. Well, that's a thick root. I think like this. Looks cute, huh? That looks pretty good. Just support them and then throw your soil in there. Let me bring you guys in closer so you guys can see this. This is what you guys want to see, the goods. All right, I'm gonna just lean over and grab. I'm gonna fill it to about the top because these need support. Always shimmy your soil. Don't forget that important piece. They're not too tall though, they won't fall over, so I'm not too worried about it. That's one. Okay. This down here. We'll work with our second pot. Here's our other one. I have enough soil. Is our other cat Snowball? Come on. She likes to say hello with her meows. She's a big scaredy cat. That looks better. Show you guys what I'm doing with these two. Looks good. That's my mom in the background, if you guys can hear her. See if I can just dump this all in here. Gotta have the wrist strength. Let it be enough. Might be a little under. Use my hand for the leftover. If you guys hear any scratching, it's the leaves scratching against my mic. Actually, it should just be enough. I have to position these a little off center because they're starting to, you see how they kind of push each other off? That's the one downside with the Dracaenas. You have to like, there you go. Switch them around a bit. It's a bit of an aggressive repot, but all right. That should be enough soil. Let's water them and see what we have. See how it's kind of tipping around. Let that soil water soak through. When you don't see water pooling, that means your soil is extremely well draining. which is great. Pick her up, you guys can see all the drainage. Yeah, this should be good. I plan to put these somewhere indoors or in a spot that doesn't really get any wind, because they will topple over. Good job. All right, let's see the other one. Here's our other one. Just gonna hold her where I want her, and then I'm gonna water her. And then as our soil settles, really soak it. There we go. Trying to make sure we cover that slightly exposed root. There we go. And that should do it. See? Still draining. All right, so there you have it, guys. We turned one large plant with 4 stalks into 2 different plants with two each, and they're fuller, and they'll be good for it. You can make plants work for you. When you have too many in one, you can sometimes dividing them is good for you and for the plant. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.